Hello, everyone. Alright, so let's dive into Jeremiah 29:11. This verse is like a comforting reminder that God has good plans for our lives, and it's one of those verses that speaks directly to the heart, especially when things feel uncertain. Here's how I would break it down in an engaging way for a casual conversation. Context of the verse. First, let's talk about where this verse is coming from. In the book of Jeremiah, the Israelites were in exile in Babylon. They were far from home, feeling displaced and hopeless. They were probably asking, why is this happening to us? Does God still care? And into this feeling of despair, God speaks through Jeremiah. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. When God says, I know the plans I have for you, He's assuring them and us that He is fully aware of where we are in life. It's almost like God is saying, I've got this. You may not see the big picture now, but I do. Trust me. In the middle of struggle, it's easy to think that God has forgotten us, or that things are just random. But this verse shows us that God is intentional. Every moment, every step is part of His greater plan. Plans for welfare and not for evil. Hence, welfare here doesn't just mean material success. It means well-being in every aspect, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. God's plans for us aren't meant to harm us. Even when we face tough circumstances, God's heart toward us is good. I think it's important to remember that hardship doesn't mean God's plan is bad for us. He might allow us to go through tough times, but it's all part of growing and learning. The Israelites in exile had a lot of tough years ahead, but the ultimate purpose was good. They weren't being punished for no reason. God was shaping their future. To give you a future and a hope. This is where the real beauty of the verse comes in. God isn't just saying, I have a plan. He's saying it's a hopeful plan. A plan that looks beyond the present struggle and toward a brighter future. When we're stuck in a hard place, it can feel like there's no way out. But God promises that the future isn't just some future. It's a future filled with hope. Hope of restoration, peace, joy, and all the things that make life truly meaningful. This part of the verse is especially powerful. Think of it this way. It's like a promise that even if you're in a dark tunnel, there's light at the end. The hope that God offers is not a wishful thought. It's a confident expectation that what He has planned will bring good. Why this verse is so powerful. So, why is this verse so popular? It's because it speaks to something universal. We all want to know that our lives have purpose. When life feels chaotic or we're not sure what's coming next, it's comforting to remember that God has a purpose for us, even when we can't see it. It's like in the waiting room of life. You're sitting there, maybe frustrated or anxious, and God is saying, I know the plans, trust me. How we can apply it today. I think we can take this verse in two ways. First, as a personal reminder that God's plans for us are full of hope, even in the midst of our mess. Second, it challenges us to trust Him. Trust that He knows better than we do, even when things aren't going the way we want. Pensar. Sometimes we might look around at our lives and feel like things aren't turning out how we imagined. But what this verse really tells us is that the outcome is not in our hands. It's in God's hands. We don't have to figure it all out ourselves. We can rest in knowing that He has a plan. Reflection. It's also about shifting our mindset. We could think of it this way. God's plan is for my well-being, not to harm me. Sometimes we want everything to be smooth sailing, but it's in the bumps and bruises of life that we learn and grow. In the end, God's plans are for our ultimate good, even if the journey looks different than we expected. Conclusion. So, what's the takeaway? Jeremiah 29:11 is a promise, one of comfort, reassurance, and hope. It's not just about being okay in the future. It's about knowing that no matter what you're facing, God's got a good purpose for it. That purpose may not always be clear in the moment, but there's always hope that He's bringing you towards something greater. And I think that's something we can all hold on to Whether you're going through a tough time or feeling uncertain about the future, remember, God knows the plans He has for you, plans to give you a future filled with hope. Thank you. God bless you.